So, thanks a lot for the talk. Questions-wise, I think there was a really interesting question that I saw posted where, in the case of moving to an event stream, you're sort of moving from the database being almost a single point of failure in a way to whatever's handling the event stream being a single point of failure. I don't know if there's any strategies you have to adopt sort of on top of that in your application.
Okay, yeah, okay, sure. I think I have this one. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, the event stream, I mean, if we look at how you approach event sourcing and event logging in Akka, for example, I mean, most does it the same way, but for us, it's just a pattern, a way to think in events, a way to model events, and event sourcing is a pattern that we can like put on almost any database. The one that we have as default in Akka is Cassandra, and Cassandra is fully available. It is eventually consistent, however, so some people might find it problematic, but it's all trade-offs. I mean, you can easily put in, Spanner if you run Google Cloud, or like something like CockroachDB if you absolutely need full consistency at all times between your different replicas of the event log, etc. So that's sort of delegating that to. I don't think. I mean, there are so many good solutions to doing to database stuff, really hard database stuff. So why not just piggyback on that? I mean, nothing's wrong with putting an event log in Oracle either. I mean, or using regular Oracle replication or Postgres or something like that. A lot of people do that as well. You have all the options of having the persistence that suits your needs and has the right trade-offs that are suitable for your use case.
Another question that we've had submitted was, it's sort of good to read about the architecture and then adopt it, but how can you convince the team not to sort of give in to the quick deadline and sort of putting in a quick post at the edge of the system that means it doesn't necessarily, I don't know if you have any experience with sort of how to adopt this architecture in teams, maybe incrementally?
That's a very good question. It's, there are many ways, of course. I mean, and as always, you shouldn't just scrap your old architecture and go all in on that. I'm all for an incremental approach. The nice thing with microservices is that they often allow you to take an incremental approach. You can even slice off a microservice off a monolith and have some sort of an event stream sitting on the monolith, publishing events over to your single microservice. That might even use event logging, as a persistence mechanism, and then you can carve out microservice after microservice until you have this is called the strangler path, which is just surrounded with microservices slowly strangled the model. There are many ways, but I think mainly it's about education. You need to sort of change the way you think about the problems and not take the last 20 years that we've been building software for granted anymore, because the reality has catched up. Multi-core is there, which means that we really have distributed systems within each CPU, really. And cloud computing is, most people want to get the scalability and have the cloud computing live up to its promise. So utility computing, pay as you go. But if your software is not ready for it, you just put it out there. It won't help much. You need to be ready for the cloud and be elastic in order to the cloud do its magic, whatever that is. You died?
Can you tell me how to operate a microphone now? And last question, I couldn't help but ask you this, is when you've got your event stream and sort of append-only log, how do you comply with right to forget for GDPR?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's as I said earlier in the talk, it's often needed to delete events for legal or even for moral reason, even though it's not legally complied or forced upon you. But we, for example, in Akka, you can do it many different ways, of course. In Akka's event sourcing library called Akka Persistence, we have an option now that allows you to sort of encrypt all the events using really strong encryption, and then if needed, you can throw away the key. I know Axon does it the same way, for example, and I think it's important though that you leave sort of a tombstone there, so you simply don't just sort of compact the log and just delete it, because the fact that the event was there might be important to you. You might even want to sort of delete certain types of fields in the event, well, event ID and whatever. you know, things, other types of things in the event might be of other useful value. You know, so having some mechanism that creates a tombstone, I think, is important. But it's hard stuff, definitely, especially if you start sending events downstream. You know, who knows where it might end up? I mean, you should know, but.
Okay, thanks very much, Jonas.
Thank you.